welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. A few of you have asked me to make a separate running series sharing my running journey. I'm gonna be running a half marathon in about 2 months, and I've been training for it. I do consider myself a beginner runner. I am not a seasoned runner. I started running consistently maybe like 2 years ago, but especially last year in 2024. And I've always felt very comfortable running a 5K, but I've never really pushed past running a 5K. So running longer distances is very much new to me, which is why I consider myself a new runner. But I do have beginner-friendly advice for those people who are beginners. So I wanted to make a video and share that. Then we're gonna go run 7 miles today, which is a milestone run for me. Every week I'm increasing my mileage by half a mile or 1 mile. Last Sunday I ran 6 miles, so today I'm running 7, then adding a mile to that every week until my half marathon. One of my biggest pieces of advice for a beginner runner is to get proper running attire, from your clothes and what you're wearing on your body to your shoes and what type of sneakers you're running with. You don't want to run with any type of sneaker. You want to make sure that the sneakers you're running with are meant for running, because if you're running with just any type of shoe, that's only going to lead to injury. Your knees are going to hurt, your whole body's going to hurt, because you need sneakers that have cushion and sole support so that it absorbs the impact of the concrete. I use Hoka's, but there are many sneaker brands out there that are meant for that. I recommend you go to a Fleet Feet store and get measured so that they tell you what kind of shoe would fit best for you. They do a whole assessment of your feet and tell you what kind of shoe would work for somebody that has your type of feet. So definitely check out a Fleet Feet store. I'm gonna link the shoes that I use down in the description box. Now, in terms of clothing, depending on where you're located and whether you get all 4 seasons like me, you might not need too much. If it's cold where you're at, you're definitely gonna need some thermals, so that whenever you're running outside and it's very cold, you don't have to put on a super thick puffy coat. You can just make sure you're wearing thermals and heat tech so that you can cover up lightly with like a running jacket or some sort of light jacket. They make thermals based on all sorts of weather. I have some lighter ones that are meant for like 40-degree temperatures. Then I have some heavy duty ones that are meant for weather that's like -4. So depending on what sort of weather you get where you live, you might want to invest in thermals and heat tech. Gloves are also a must if you're running in cold conditions, because you don't want to run with your hands in your coat or anything. You want to make sure your hands are free. And trust me, running with no gloves when it's cold and there's wind makes the running experience so uncomfortable because your hands get so cold. You're also gonna want to invest in some high impact sports bra, especially if you are gifted up here as a woman. Otherwise, you're going to be struggling when you're running and your girls are bouncing up and down. I also recommend doubling your sports bra. That might also help them bounce less. But as somebody who is part of the itty bitty committee, as you can see, I don't really have those problems and I'm fine with just one sports bra. But I know that it can become an issue if you have bigger boobs. You're also going to want some high impact leggings, something with compression that holds you in nicely. You don't want leggings that are going to be rolling down or anything, or that are uncomfortable to run with. You want something that's going to keep you nice and tight and sucked in, so that when you're running, you're having a smooth running experience. That's pretty much it in terms of running attire. Now, if you're going to be running with your keys or your phone, or if you want to bring a water bottle with you, I recommend investing into a running vest. It really changed the game for me because it makes me having access to everything so much easier. It's so accessible. I can take my phone in and out of my front pocket. I can bring my key with me. And I can also bring a small water bottle with me on the road. So I definitely recommend that if you're going to be running with a couple things with you. Obviously, I don't recommend you run with too much stuff, but a running vest is perfect for like those essential things, especially if you're running longer distances. I don't know about y'all, but I cannot run without music in my ears. I know some people listen to motivational audios. Other people listen to like classical music if they want to pace themselves and not run too fast, because I for one catch myself running extra fast when I'm listening to like dembow or Brazilian funk or Afro beats. Like, I'm gonna run to the beat of the music. I use the JBL Live 660. These are incredibly comfortable. The battery power on these is incredible. I maybe charge mine like once a month, if that, and I use these every single day for running, at the gym, talking on the phone, all things. I'm always using these headphones. In a matter of 10 minutes, they charge up to like 50% or something crazy like that. So these are absolutely perfect. I've been using these for a year now, and even when it's super cold outside, I don't need earmuffs or a headband or anything to cover my ears, because the leather on these keep my ears nice and warm. I love how these fit on my head. They're perfect. The music sound quality is superb. I can't recommend these enough. I really love them. And JBL has an amazing customer service team. These are actually a replacement that I got under my 1-year warranty. Running with AirPods, it's a little bit more uncomfortable because they might come off your ear when you're bouncing as you run. So I definitely recommend headphones. Now, in terms of running apps, there are a ton of different running apps out there. You can use Runna, Strava. But if you want a free option, which I think that if you're a beginner, you should opt for the free option before you pay money for apps where you have to pay a subscription for, like Runna or Strava, I definitely recommend the Nike running app. It's amazing for beginners. They have several guided runs that tell you what pace you should go at. You can put whatever your goal is. Like if you want to go from a couch to like being able to run a 5K, they have a plan for that. If you want to run a 10K, if you want to run a half a marathon or a full marathon, they have plans for you and guided runs for you. So I highly recommend the Nike running app. It's free, so as a beginner, you should definitely take advantage of things that are free. And then as you become a more seasoned runner, that's when you invest into things and actually pay money for them. If you're gonna be running, nutrition is very important. Pre-run, I definitely recommend eating something that's gonna give you a quick sugar spike, like a banana, applesauce, you know, especially if you mash up your banana right before you run and you add a little bit of cinnamon. That's gonna give you quick glucose for energy. Another go-to for me is a rice cake with peanut butter and jelly, or with peanut butter and honey. I try to keep it light right before working out, and I'll have it maybe like 10 to 15 minutes before I go for a run. When you're running really long distances, like more than an hour, you want to take something with you that you can quickly eat as you're running. Post-run, you should definitely be eating something that is going to fuel you, because with running, you burn a lot of calories, so you want to replenish back carbs, protein, and healthy fats. If you're looking for meal inspiration, make sure you check out my What I Eat in a Day playlist. My What I Eat in a Days are usually very high protein because my goal is to build muscle, but depending on your goals and what you want to achieve through your fitness journey, what you're eating is going to depend on that. Now, if you're a total beginner and you're wondering, how do I start running? I definitely recommend you start getting comfortable running a 5K before you commit to running longer distances. So for that, I recommend the Nike running app, like I said, if you're doing it on your own. But there's something about having a community when you're running that feels so special. So I definitely recommend joining a run club by you. There's tons and tons and tons of run clubs everywhere. My run club is actually what got me to running more consistently, because they meet a couple times a week and they go for a run together. You have that encouraging and empowering group dynamic. You're all running together and you just build community that way. The run club I go to runs twice a week, and they do shorter distances and longer distances. So I usually join them for the short distance run once a week. I think it's the perfect way to start running if you're a beginner. And they don't just run, they also have the option of like walking. So different people are going at different paces, which I think is what's like so nice about it, that it's pretty much open to all levels. So if you're a beginner, I definitely recommend joining a run club, and it's gonna make you fall in love with running even more, like doing it with other people that may be a beginner or more seasoned, people you can learn from and learn with. That's my tip if you're looking for ways to start running but you don't know how and you don't want to do it by yourself. If you want to do it on your own and you don't know how to start, I recommend starting off walking and running. You don't want to give yourself a drastic goal that you can't keep up with if you are starting from scratch and you're not comfortable running a 5K yet. Maybe you can do like a minute of running and then a minute of walking, and then you start bumping it up to 5 minutes of running and then 5 minutes of walking until eventually you can run a whole mile without walking. Make sure you're building slowly and listen to your body. If you need to stop, you stop and you walk until you're able to start running again. Baby steps, you know, learn to pace yourself and listen to your body and do it at your own pace. A non-negotiable before you go on a run is a pre-run stretch. You have to warm up your body because otherwise you will get injured. Before you go on any run, you should be stretching. You want to do mobility stretches. And in this video, I'm actually going to be showing you my pre-run stretch and my post-run stretch as well, to give you some ideas as to what movements you should be doing before going on a run and after going on a run. So pre-run, you want to do mobility exercises to activate your muscles and prepare yourself before the run. I also like to activate my glutes before running because I am quad dominant. So when I'm running, my quads activate more than my glutes, and I want my glutes to also get the benefits of me running. Post-run, you're gonna want to do all sorts of static stretches, quad stretches, hamstring stretches, and holding the pose for about 30 seconds to a minute. That's gonna help reduce soreness, it's gonna help with muscle recovery, and it's gonna improve your flexibility. So don't neglect your post-run stretches. You also want to make sure you're hydrating your body very well after your runs, and not just with water, but you're gonna want to add electrolytes to your water because you're sweating a lot. So you're gonna want to replenish the electrolytes you lost during your run. I use a couple different brands. I'm going to also include that in my running list on Amazon. I'll link it down in the description box. Make sure to check that out. And yeah, y'all, those are my main tips. This is the first video in the series, so if you want more running tips from a beginner for a beginner, make sure you subscribe to my channel and be on the lookout for episode number 2 of my running series. Today we're gonna be running 7 miles and I'm gonna be taking you along with me. Next week I'm gonna be running 8 miles, and I will continue sharing tips along the way and just sharing my running journey with you to inspire other beginner runners like me who want to eventually run a half marathon or a full marathon, or who just want to start running in general. Let us warm up and get ready for this run.